first Jordanian basketball player to ever sign by Red Bull.
No way.
Not only like in Jordan, I was the first girl in the whole Arab region.
You serious?
And the first female hooper in the world to sign with Red Bull.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought you were the first Jordanian, but
Yeah.
that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I saw you get emotional talking about Orthodox, your first game playing against them. Tell me why you're so emotional about Orthodox, because there's a lot of feelings going on with this. I know. This is tough.
Okay.
And in being ex-basketball players, I know what you're going through.
Well,
Take your time.
we always we didn't have the same wages, we didn't have the same attention or media coverages, and I always felt that the women are very nobody talks about us, nobody writes about us. Even if we win a championship, they put in bold letters in the newspaper and that's it. So I was like, okay, if they're not gonna talk about us, I'm gonna talk about us.
Who approached who? I want to hear the story.
Well, it's not who approached who.
Right.
If you want to hear it from Sani's side, he's gonna make me like I was all over. So, please don't listen to me. This is the truth, okay? So we met.
Ruby, my relationship with your husband Sani is based purely on trash talk, but I plan on showing you a lot more respect today.
What up, Ruby? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
By the way, you know how crazy the workouts are when this guy and Sonny is in a workout? Next time they work out together, it should only be them two. Because when they're with the other three get lost because they talk so much shit and it's wild in there.
Yeah, the thing is, I have a PhD in trash talking, but Sani can put me in my place once in a while.
When I play one-on-one with Sani, it always ends up with a fight. So
100%. No, that's why we said for the sake of our friendship, we will never play one-on-one.
Shout out to my brother Sonny, man. I love that guy. He's phenomenal.
Me too.
Ruby, one of our favorite part of the episode is the shot clock.
Okay.
So we're going to ask you some questions. We want fast answers as we ask you. Are you ready to have some
Ready.
fun?
Yep.
Let's do it.
What is your favorite Arabic dish?
Nukhia,
Best teammate you've ever had.
Russia,
Favorite non-basketball athlete?
Cristiano Ronaldo,
Better shooter. And honestly, you or Sonny.
me of course,
Favorite place you've ever visited?
Palestine.
Why did you choose the number 7?
I really loved Nasser Bassam as a kid.
Okay.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Favorite moment playing for Jordan.
I think in Qatar, the Arab Games,
Okay.
Favorite city in Palestine?
Jerusalem,
At home, do you prefer to sing or dance?
sing,
Favorite cheat meal?
burger,
Who's a better cook, you or Sonny?
Sani of course.
Okay.
Fuheis blue or Orthodoxi red?
I love both teams equally.
Political answer. from
Very political. Great answer.
So I do want to ask you one question based on that. You mentioned your favorite city in Palestine to visit is Jerusalem. Have you been there?
Yep.
Multiple times, sorry, obviously you've been there.
Multiple times, yeah.
Nice.
We have family there, and my parents used to live there. My brother and sister were born there.
Okay,
I'm the
wow.
only one that was born here in Jordan.
Okay.
You know I'm not going to let you off the hook with that last answer
Yeah.
between the Fuheis Blues and Orthodox Red. I know Orthodox is home,
Yeah.
and I know Blues gave you something different than what Orthodox did.
True.
Talk to me a little bit about the difference.
Yeah, like you said,
Differences.
Sam, Orthodox is my home. Like I was, when I was born, like I was an Orthodox member
Right.
directly. Until now, I'm a member. We go there all the time. My kids play there all the time. But when I moved to Fuheis a couple of years ago, I moved because I saw the future of Fuheis. And because at that time, Orthodox Club didn't want to participate in West Asia in the Arab Championship, and they didn't host anything. So for me, I wanted to play outside of Jordan. I want people to see my talent. And at that time, Fuheis promised to host West Asia and the Arab Championship, which they did. And they always bring the top-notch pros for the team. So I saw my future in Fuheis, and that's why I took that decision.
Shout out to both Orthodox Red and, of course, Fuheis Blues. I want to go ahead and transition into your early childhood. When was the first time Ruby grabbed the basketball?
Grabbed the basketball maybe from 1 year old,
Okay.
but started really playing in the Little League at maybe the age of 6.
Okay.
And at that time, the Little League, they used to call it the basketball school. And they used to have basketball stars coaching in that. So we were very excited to join. Like Fadis used to coach me, Ashraf Samara used to coach me. Like we used to watch them all the time. As I told you before, I used to love Nasser Bassam, so I wanted to be like him.
Right.
And that's why I joined the Little League.
From a young age, was it just basketball or did you play other sports?
I played all the sports you can think about. And then the school team, I used to be in all the sports teams.
How'd you have time to do all this?
I didn't even stay in class for more than 2 classes because they always bring Ruby for this, bring Ruby for that. And at the age of maybe 14, I decided to only play basketball.
Who was giving you all that support? Was that coming from your dad and mom, or just more from your mom?
Yeah, but mainly my mom because
Okay.
she's an athlete. Also, she used to play basketball and she pushed me into sports.
Did your mom play at a high level?
At their time, there was no high level,
Okay.
but she played the league. She played the schools league, and yeah.
How were the facilities and what was the support like for you as a young girl trying to play sports in Jordan?
It wasn't much, to be honest, and we didn't have many options. Like we didn't have academies like now. Like I wish we have an academy like SD13 at my time. It would
Thank you
have
for the shout out. Thank you.
escalated
Very
my game
kind.
a lot. Like I always tell my mom that girls these days are really lucky to have a
Right.
place like that to practice, to improve their game. If I had that, maybe I was in the WNBA right now.
I mean, with your height, probably.
So where did your passion come from then, and how were you able to develop your game if you didn't have these facilities?
I used to love watching basketball at that age, and I wanted to be a star like the stars I used to watch. So I used to watch all the time videos on YouTube, like how to improve my skills, how to improve my dribbling skills, how to shoot better, and I used to implement them on court.
Wow.
Before school or before even college. I used to go to the club, practice, take a shower, and then go to school. I used to go before practice 1 hour, practice on my own, and after the team practice, I used to stay for 1 hour to shoot. So I used to work a lot on my game to improve it.
Wow. So you started playing at a young age and then transitioned into playing for what, the under 12, under 14, and probably under 16, 18, correct?
Yeah.
Walk me through that part, you know what I mean? How challenging was that?
Yeah, like when I was like maybe 10 in the Little League,
Right.
the coach there, he told the head coach of the under 12 and 14 that I have a girl that can play
At that level?
Yeah, at that level. So they took me to the team and I started practicing. And at that time I was really good. They saw that I can practice more. So with time, under 12, I was under 12, under 14, under 16, under 18, and the women's team. I played in all the leagues.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane.
I remember I even played with a girl, maybe you don't even remember her. Her name is Hind Al-Ghouri. She was like maybe 30 years older than me
Wow.
at the team. And I watched her retirement ceremony. They did a small dinner for her at the club. Yeah, so I like it was a different generation. Like
Right.
I played with both generations.
So you were 12 or 13 when you played with the women?
13.
Okay, how was that experience, and how were the women taking you on when you started playing with them? Like,
For
did
me,
they accept you?
Yeah, for me it was amazing. Like being this young, playing with the women's team, I was very excited.
Right.
Some of them were welcoming, and it was really nice, and they mentored me. And I think some of them were a little bit jealous, maybe because I was very young and taking their spot.
Right, but you probably see that a little bit different because seeing the other women in Jordan, Zara, Liliana, Joanna, you guys are great mentors for the young generation.
Sure.
Do you feel maybe there should have been more, what's the word I'm looking for, maybe supportive for you
Like
at that age?
I had my support, yeah, but
Yeah.
some of the players, it's different personalities.
Right.
So some of the players, their personality was like, okay, I'm not having it.
Right.
If this 14-year-old is going to take my place, I'm going to quit.
Oh,
But
Quit, or were they coming at you, like
no,
not letting you score,
never
playing
at
hard
me.
defense?
Never at me, no.
No, are you serious?
No, never.
Interesting.
That's
The
almost
players-
worse in a sense, though. If you feel like
Yeah.
you're hearing it from other people, but they're being nice to your face,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, maybe.
That's weird to me.
We're
because-
talking about only like 2 players,
Yeah.
maybe 3 players.
Right,
but the rest
right.
were very, very welcoming, very supportive. They were my family for like.
Yeah. What was it a good experience, you would say, or was it kind of tough? You're like, why am I here? This is
No.
too hard, or this is too tough on me.
No, it was
honestly.
a good experience, and I believed in myself because if the coach sees me as a starter at that young age, that means I'm the future. So I
Right.
was very, very like excited to be there.
How did you manage playing for multiple teams, but also maintaining like a regular childhood, seeing friends, going to school?
like social life for me, it started after I quit basketball. I had no social life. I used to go out once in a while, but we practiced like 6 times a week and sadly no. So it was very hard to keep my social life. But school, I also like prioritized basketball over school, which is wrong. But I used to do that because I saw that my future were through basketball, not academics.
So now if Jason comes and tells you, I want to be a pro, I don't want to focus on school, what are you going to tell
If
him?
he's gonna become like the next Cristiano Ronaldo, go ahead.
What about the next Sani Sakakini?
Of course, of course.
So, when did you have your breakout year when you with Orthodox? Was it at a young age where everybody was like, "Oh, this girl's coming"? At what age was that?
Maybe I was in the 8th grade. I remember being in Lebanon with the school's team.
Okay.
And the captain of the boys' team, he told everybody on the table, this girls is the future of women's
Jordan.
basketball.
Wow.
And right here, I was like, yes, I am. Like, you know.
That's what every athlete want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, they want to hear that from their peers, from another coach, better yet, even another country. You know, what I mean, somebody that's well respected.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that gave you that boost and that confidence. But I know you had a breakout game in the Hariri tournament. Was that tournament with Orthodox or it was with Orthodox? Tell me about that tournament.
Because I was.
And how old you were?
I was very young. Maybe I was 14. Or 14, 15 maybe. I was very young, and at that time, I was very young that even with the men's team, they were like Iyad Abdin, Ayman Dais, the old generation.
Right.
This is how young I was. And I remember everybody was like, she's the youngest in the bus, take care of her. She's the youngest in the hotel, take care of her. Everybody was taking care of me as a baby because I was the youngest. But on court, I proved that I'm not a baby. I remember scoring 26 in the important game, and everybody was like, okay, she's...
That's a baller right there.
But in spite of this, there still wasn't as much, let's say, local support for the women's game versus the men's game, and you did something about that on social media. Can you talk to us through that?
Yeah, we always we didn't have the same wages, we didn't have the same attention or media coverages, and I always felt that the women are very nobody talks about us, nobody writes about us. Even if we win a championship, they put in bold letters in the newspaper and that's it. So I was like, okay, if they're not gonna talk about us, I'm gonna talk about us.
Right.
So I did a page on Instagram. I was at the Orthodox Club at the time, and on Facebook actually. On Facebook, the Facebook was more trending.
Right back then.
Yeah, so I did the Orthodox Club women's team basketball, and on that page I started putting highlights for the girls. I started making interviews individually, and I started putting our news, what we want, and everything. And from that, I started making my own
videos.
Yeah, I wanted to market myself, you know.
Very smart.
So I started doing highlights for me, posting my good games on YouTube, and posting everything on Facebook on the basketball community pages. And from posting all that, people start knowing about Rubi Habash, regionally in Lebanon and everybody.
Right.
And from posting all about that, I got the sponsorship deal from Red Bull.
Wow.
I signed the Red Bull athlete because they heard, who's that Rubi? She can handle the ball. They saw the videos of me dribbling.
So they reached out to you or your agent?
I didn't have an agent. So they reached out to me through a friend.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
By the way, she was the first Jordanian basketball player to ever sign by Red Bull.
No way.
not only in Jordan, I was the first girl in the whole Arab region.
You serious?
And the first female hooper in the world to sign with Red Bull.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I
Talk
thought
and
you were the
talk.
first Jordanian, but that's phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
That's
insane.
because you don't normally associate Red Bull with basketball. So what was that sponsorship like? What did they kind of offer you?
They offered me a salary and
Exposure.
exposure, outfits, and everything I need. It's like a support system. It's like a family. Wherever you travel, wherever you go, whatever you need, there's a Red Bull office
Wow.
at your service. So it's like having family everywhere.
I feel it's like that agent that you never had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like they really support the athlete and everything, even if he's injured. They'll make sure to get him somewhere where he gets his rehab therapy,
Exactly.
make sure he gets back.
Yeah.
But we know that from what you said at the beginning of the episode that, Orthodoxy was like home, but to really challenge yourself, you had to go to Fuheis. So how long after when you signed this sponsorship did you end up going to the different team?
After 1 year, maybe.
Okay.
1 year, because also they put in the contract something for you to achieve. like if you want to stay a Red Bull athlete, you have to stay on top, like to be the first on the league, to be first
so
in
they had
the Arab, to be
milestones for you
second in
guys.
the West Asia, to always be on the podium.
So they were team accolades, not individual accolades.
Everything, team and individual. So if I want to maintain my contract, I have to be with the team that participates in the Arab.
Smart. And that's how the move went from Orthodox
Yeah.
to Fuheis. Tell me about that move. How
It
was
was
it?
a very hard decision.
Okay.
Took me. I was talking with Mr. Ayman for 3 years, and every year I told him, "No, I'm staying home. No, I'm staying home." After the third year, when I sat with the Red Bull, I was like, "Why am I staying home if they don't want to do anything anymore?"
Right, right.
So I took the right
I know Aboudi asked you a question in regarding like the support, but it was a great question. But why do you keep doing it when, I mean, you're not getting support? I mean, if Red Bull didn't come, you really don't have support.
Because we love the game. Because we love the game. Even like all the girls at the Orthodox club, and even every club in Jordan, they don't take money enough.
Right.
They play because they love to play.
Yeah. But Ruby, I mean, you're very talented. MashaAllah, you're tall. You play the point guard position, one of my favorite positions, and probably Aboudi's position as well. Who put you in that place? You know what I mean? Because I remember in high school, I was the tallest as a freshman. And I remember the coach was like, I want you to play the point guard. And everybody looked at him like he's the tallest on the team. Who did that for you?
It happened with me as well. Like in under 12, under 14, I was a post player.
Yeah.
But when Coach Haitham Qahtan came, he was like, you can dribble better than anybody.
Right, right.
You should be a point guard. And I'm glad I listened to him and became a point guard.
So when you went to Fuheis, you were a point guard.
Yeah.
What was the
playing for
competition like when you were there?
At the first year, playing against Orthodox club was a disaster for me. I wasn't used to it. The ex-girls were like my family, and it was weird playing against them. I was used to them.
Right.
So the first game, I remember I played really bad. The first
Right.
game against them, really, really bad performance. After that, I was like, okay, Ruby, you have to snap out of it. You have
True.
to play. They brought you to Fuheis to win. So that's why I started.
So I know Aboudi is going to dive in more about the Fuheis, but I saw you get emotional talking about Orthodox, your first game playing against them. Tell me why you're so emotional about Orthodox, because there's a lot of feelings going on with this. I know. This is tough.
Okay.
And in being ex-basketball players, I know what you're going through.
Well,
Take your time.
it still hurts until now because with that move, I felt that I lost my family, like the Orthodox club family. Because until now, I feel like the ex-teammates treat me differently. And I feel like they hated me for a while. And at that time, even the coach were against me and hating me. But after like a couple of years, we made things out and things are better.
Right.
Yeah, but I felt with that move, I lost a part of me and I couldn't get it back.
And this is what fans don't see, and this is what a lot of people don't see, the emotions that goes into an athlete.
True.
And I commend you, I respect you, and I know how hard it is on you. And for you to pull through it and show them that, okay, you're not going to stand by me, I'm going to shine through another team, and I'm going to take my brand somewhere else. I am so proud of you.
Thank
You have no idea, man.
Thank you.
I think it's also a testament to like the kind of people you surround yourself with in your life, right? At the end of the day, if people don't respect the vision you have for yourself or the goals you have for yourself, then they're probably not the kind of people you want to surround yourself
Sure, like,
with.
to be honest, my mom tells me all the time, if they're not happy for you, they weren't really your friends. They were just teammates.
100%.
But, you know, this is what sports is all about. It's very competitive, extremely competitive. And even your own teammates, yes, they want the best for you, but they want that limelight and
But
they want
after
that shine.
all that years now, we're friends again. Like, it's okay.
Right, but I know it's probably was very competitive for you with Fuheis too, because now you're going on a stack team, right?
Yeah.
That league, so what was the competition like in Jordan once you went to Fuheis? Because from what I understand, it was very similar to like Man United now, or my experience in Kuwait, where it's kind of one team and then the rest of the team is at a different level. Rest of the league, sorry.
Like before I go to Fuheis, it was always Orthodoxy, gold. After I went to Fuheis, first year we lost because
So from a competitive standpoint, how was the league once you went to Fuheis? You said you won a bunch of goals at Orthodoxi first. Did you then transition and start bringing goals to Fuheis as well?
That's really what happened. Before I went to Fuheis, it was always Orthodox on top. After that, only the first year we lost in Fuheis because, like, Russia was injured. A lot of key players were injured, and that was really me and the youngers. So only that first year, even though every game were competitive, we lost it. But after that year, it became all Fuheis gold, Fuheis gold, Fuheis gold, Fuheis gold.
So you went through two big moves, two big emotional situations. One leaving Orthodox and one ACL. How tough was your ACL coming back from it?
It was a very tough phase, but to be honest, I came back after the injury better than before.
Yeah.
The recovery, the how tough I worked on myself, and the physical. Like I used to go to the gym all the time. I gained muscles. Before the ACL, I didn't have muscles.
I think some people don't realize that if you approach recovery to an injury well, it's actually a very, very good thing. One, mentally, if you prove to yourself that I can get over this. But two, like you said, if you go to the gym and you're working on things that maybe were weaker before, if done correctly and if you have the right physios, it can be a very, very good thing for your career.
Exactly, and I
really
believe I
believe
was
that.
better after.
You did. You came back strong. I was very proud of you. How did Fuheis accept you?
With the injury?
No. Moving from the competitors.
They were very welcoming, to be honest.
Okay.
Especially like the president, the coaches, everybody were very.
The players too?
The players, some of them left because because they knew they would have no time to play anymore.
Right.
So they took the right decision. I respect that.
I agree.
But the players that stayed, we became friends. It was good.
You guys had a very stacked team. How competitive were the practices and all that stuff? Tell me
I
more about
remember,
that.
like Lily, she used to give me a hard time. Lily, you know Lily, she's eager to prove herself all the time. And I'm here, and so when I had the ball, she was always in my face, like, you know, she was playing as if it's the last seconds in the final. It was like,
Leave me alone. Let me
But I
live his
love
practice.
that. I
We
love
love
that
her for that.
because the way she like defended me in practices, I was
you
ready
better.
in every game.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
I loved that about her.
I think that's a very good message for people that are listening, that, like, you know, your role on a team, even if you're not a star player, is very important because you actually end up bringing the starting five or the better players up to a higher level when you compete every day in practice. So there's a responsibility to everyone. And now Lily is a star player, right? So it's all about transitioning.
Exactly.
And that goes, you know, she probably gives you a lot of credit as well because, you know, you mentored her. You were right there for her. You come in to Fuheis. I'm sure you guys had a lot of conversations. And then her guarding you every day made her a better player as well. Like, we can't deny that as well.
Exactly.
At all.
Yeah.
Best accomplishments you had with Fuheis. Tell me about, because you guys competed in a lot of tournaments.
At the first year I went to Fuheis, like a couple of months later, we were the second in the Arab Championship. It was the first time in history.
In Jordan history.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, Rubi came, got second Arab. It was
Beautiful.
like a great move.
Right.
And after that, we got like second in West Asia and like this, but the president was like, okay, now I'm done with the second place, I want first.
Wow.
And this is where the real
It must be nice
pressure
to play for a
began.
president like Ayman.
Yeah,
Ayman
he
is
always
such a great guy.
like wants to do more. He
Right.
always wants to do more. And we played a lot of great games. We achieved a lot, but for the first time ever, a couple of months back, Fuheis got the gold in the Arab Championship, but I was an assistant coach and not a player.
There's no but. That should still be.
Yeah.
You're still part of it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
it's great.
But were you part of the team that won it? I think the tournament was in Sharjah.
Sharjah. I was injured.
You were injured at the part.
Yeah, yeah.
They got first place in that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other things you guys got first? Because you guys were always competing.
Yeah. It was like usually West Asia, Sharjah, and Arab Championship. Those are the mostly tournaments we play each year.
Okay.
So we got 2 golds and 1 silver right now. So let's hope next West Asia we get the gold.
I got to give credit for Fuheis Blues, man. They just keep pushing through it. Although, like, they don't have a local league that they can compete in. Yet the president, Ayman, is always willing to push the buttons and make these girls compete in all these international tournaments.
Every tournament we go to participate, we're always the most respected team.
Wow.
Everybody is afraid of us now.
Wow. Were you part of the national team that played in the championship game here when they lost to Lebanon?
No.
You weren't on that
I
team.
was with Sani and Taichung, and we were in COVID.
Right. That was after COVID.
What's the Hajar?
You were quarantined.
Lockdown,
Yeah, lockdown.
quarantine. We were in the quarantine in a hotel room.
So this is a very good segue.
Yeah.
We've heard all about you coming up and, making a name for yourself at Orthodoxy, then moving to Fuheis. When did you first meet Sani?
of first year of college, first year of university.
Who approached who? I want to hear the story.
Well, it's not who approached who.
Right.
If you want to hear it from Sani's side, he's gonna make me like I was all over. Please don't listen to me. This is the truth, okay? So we met.
There's a reason we asked you this and not him on the podcast. We want the true story.
Every time someone asks, he was like, yeah, she was over.
Right.
Okay, so we met in it was a relative family, someone who knows both of us. So
Right.
we were there. He came from Ramallah just a couple of weeks ago. He was like, "You're here to play basketball?" He was like, "Yes." Okay. I was like, "Do you have basketball in Palestine?" I'm sorry, I'm asking him, but I really didn't know. He's like,
Right.
"Of course we have basketball in Palestine."
That's exactly
That's right. Sunny.
And I was like, you came, they signed you here to play. Are you that good? He was like,
Right.
I'm that good. Why are you so surprised? I'm like, are you better than Ali Jamal and Ayman Dais? And he was like, I'll prove to you that I'm better.
Dude, that's so funny.
And he was like, do you know how to play? You're a girl. I was like, what do you mean I'm a girl? Of course I can beat you. So he's like, okay, let's play one-on-one. So that's what happened.
It's the definition of love in basketball.
Yeah, so we
Basketball right
decided
there.
to
And they're
play.
both talking shit. That's
Yeah.
Sunny.
We played a game. I remember it was on Friday at 10 a.m. in the Orthodox club. And he said that when I arrived at the club and I texted him, okay, I'm here. He was still sleeping. He was like, like this. And he was like, should I go? Should I? No. If he didn't come, we wouldn't be married right now.
Get outta
I
here.
hope he came. He came. And
He ended up coming, showing up
ended
late.
up coming,
Who
and
won
we
that
played
game?
one-on-one. I won, but because I put two rules: no block shots,
Okay.
Nice.
and what was the
No post
no
ups.
dunks because my ايش نفسية.
Oh, her what's the word we're looking for? Her ego will not allow her.
Yeah.
Okay.
My ego would not allow any dunks and no block shots, and I ended up winning because with my dribbling skills I could beat him every time.
I mean, for sure you dribble better than him. We know that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and if he can't block me, so it's game over.
So you guys been dating you guys dated for a long time.
We
So
were
talking
together
about college,
for 10
right?
years, and then we got married.
Wow.
8 years we got engaged. 2 years
Right.
we got married.
What was that like on a more serious note, given that the requirements of playing professional sports and basketball mean you might be, especially with Sonny, he's played all across the world, right? So how are you able to maintain a relationship while also respecting each other's passions and careers?
So we made it for long
Distance?
long distance for a really long time. But because he always used to tell me something that's sweet. He used to tell me, let me just phrase it right. Distance means nothing when the love means so much.
Now I'm going to
Sonny, I'm going to call you, and I want to hear that line coming out of your mouth.
So
He's
we-
a teddy
we
bear,
made
huh?
it,
He's a teddy bear.
We made it because, to be honest, we really loved each other. And
Right.
We were always waiting for each other. And we, as you said, we respected each other. I understood that he had to play, that he has to travel and be away.
Right.
And at the same time, when I was visiting him after we got married, he understood that I have to go back because I have a league. And I used to leave him alone because I have a league. So it was...
I like that. Ruby, tell me about the advantages of you being a professional basketball player and Sonny being a professional basketball player and both of you guys being married in a relationship. How did that help you guys?
Well, it helped a lot because when I used to go with him, to China, to Taiwan, wherever he signs, he used to understand when I have to go back because I have a league or have a championship. So
Okay.
he used to understand that I have to leave him alone and go back. And at the same time, I used to understand that he always has to travel. He always have to leave us because he has work.
Right.
So it's hard. The long distance is hard, but we made it through because we understand each other.
Because long distance is very tough. I've tried it. It's extremely hard. But how frustrating is it for you knowing that he's always gone, knowing that it's not a normal life? Although we give you a lot of credit for any wife that's holding the house down, we give her so much credit. But I want to speak about that frustration because We all sometimes wish we can have a normal life, but that's not life. Nobody.
It's very tough, especially now with kids. It used to be much easier without kids. With kids, it's really, really difficult, especially when like my kids ask for their dad.
Right.
So it gets emotional, and when every time he leaves, it's the same drama.
Right, right.
Sometimes he comes for a week.
Right.
Instead of being happy, we're sad because he's leaving.
I know.
So
That's, yeah. I mean, it's never easy. And I know it's hard on him. Me and him, we're always in touch. And we always talk about that. But at the end of the day, he has a responsibility to provide for the family. And at the same time, Sani is still playing at such a high level, man. I mean, last night he just had 34 points in the Taiwan League. And I'm like texting him, I'm like, yo.
he's a beast.
Man, where are these young legs coming from? I mean, and I'm telling you, you got to give yourself credit because you're allowing him to be.
Thank you.
And that's the only way he could be the son he
100%.
is.
100%. But on the note of kids, so, and excuse me if this is a personal question, but did you end up retiring so that you could have kids? Did you make that sacrifice?
Yeah. When I took the decision, I was pregnant with my second child, and I knew it's gonna be very tough with 2 kids.
Yeah.
Alone at the house with no one to help, and I have a tear in my meniscus. So even though if I want to continue, I have to do a surgery and do a recovery, and with 2 kids, it would be no
That's
way.
tough.
Yeah, no.
She actually I think came back and played after Jason, right, was born.
Yeah.
What was tougher, that or ACL, honestly? Because they're both almost the same, right?
That, to be honest, giving birth and coming back for me was harder than coming back from the ACL.
Wow.
Yeah, Sani's not the only beast in the family.
Exactly.
Do you ever feel like in a different world where maybe you hadn't gotten married, you would have kept playing and not retired as young?
Of course, if I don't have a family, I would be still playing maybe outside of Jordan.
Ooh. This is, I think, for me, my last question about the relationship between you and Sani, and because you're a sister to me and he's a brother to me. How tough would it be on you if Sani decides to play for another 5, maybe 6 more years?
Well, to be honest, I'm prepared because I see him, as you said, he's still beasting. So I think he still has it in him.
Yeah.
So mentally, I'm prepared, but my kids aren't prepared, especially Jason.
But you, as an athlete, you cannot walk away unless under your own terms, right? So Ruby and the family saying, Sani, it's time. If he's not ready.
I'm not going to tell him. No.
Okay.
If he's ready, he's going to take the decision.
Okay, so it's going to be definitely a Sani decision.
Of course.
I'm sure he's probably going to ask.
Well, it's also one of those, so first of all, knowing Sani, he'll definitely have a conversation with you. But second
Right.
of all, it's one of those things where, as hard as it may be on Jason and Amira, it's a conversation you have 5 years from now when they understand, like, hey, I was doing this for you, and so that you could have the childhood you have and have.
We still tell Jason every day why his dad is away. We try to tell him why he has to go, so he can study, so he can have a life, have
Right.
a house. And Jason sometimes tell dad to work in Jordan or do business in Jordan.
Tell him it's not that fun. So.
Well, it's not that
I
easy.
wish it was that.
Yeah. And like they always say, athletes die twice. So when he retires, it's going to be tough on him. You know what I mean?
100%.
Ruby, I wanted to ask you now, as you're retired and you're moving away, did you struggle with what's next?
No, of
Because
course.
you're a full-time mother, and now you're retired. Did you struggle? What's next?
Yeah, of course. It was a very tough decision because like when you say Rubi Habash,
Yeah.
always what comes next? The basketball player.
Right.
I was always known as a basketball player, and this is what I know what to do.
Right.
So for me, it was like, what's next? What am I going to do next? Am I going to coach or not? So I started coaching, and I found myself a little bit in coaching, but part of me is still
Missing something,
yeah,
right?
something is missing. So
Do you know what that feeling was? Because the thing is, you not only were you coaching, you were actually coaching Fuheis and you were winning.
yeah,
so you
yeah,
had
but
that, you were
still,
close to the
it wasn't
game.
the same high. Like winning as a coach and winning as a player, it felt really different.
Do you agree?
I 100% agree with you.
So for me, that void didn't
Get fulfilled.
got fulfilled. So what I feel now is kind of a new passion. What I feel now is like maybe the future, because I really enjoy doing it. Is the next move I took. I became a TV presenter.
Oh, tell us more about that.
Yeah, so becoming a TV presenter, it felt right.
Right.
I felt like, okay, I can do this, and I like this. It's because basketball for me it wasn't work.
Right.
It was something I love to do, and I get paid for it. This is the same way how I feel about being a presenter. I go, I have fun, I discuss, I do what I love, and I enjoy, and I get paid.
But it's also challenging, and I think that's an important thing to discuss, because I know when Sam and I came up with this idea, I thought like, okay, like I speak well and I speak English fluently. This is going to be very easy, and it's been very difficult.
Especially
You've seen,
for me.
there's challenges that go
Right.
out of your control, and you have to learn. And I'm sure it's the same presenting. And I feel like, as an athlete, and hearing the way you dedicated yourself to basketball, you can do so similarly here. People don't realize that it does take a lot of work to get behind a camera and to be happy.
Right.
You have to be smiling on camera all the time.
Even if something bad happens before the show, you have to put on a smile.
But you always been in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, you were big on
That's why
TikTok and
I took that
Instagram.
move.
She was very
By
big
the way,
on
Sani
both.
is the one who pushed me into this.
You serious?
Sani as well,
Okay.
because when I told him what's next, what I want to do, he was like, "You're always fun to watch during interviews. Your face is photogenic. You know how to talk. So why not become a TV presenter?" And after he said that to me, I went to Rubi Academy. I took 2 courses on becoming a TV
Wow.
presenter.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good job.
And the people at Rubi Academy were very happy with me, and they recommended me for the TV station. She's like the next TV presenter for sports. And
Before we get into it, I'm actually curious, what were some of the biggest things you learned in this academy
what was the
for presenting? You said you went and you took 2 courses.
Yeah.
What were some of the most important or the most surprising things you learned that you would have never thought?
It's maybe it's how you always have an earpiece here, and they're talking to you a lot with very like loud noises.
Yeah.
Right.
And at the same time, the guest is talking to you, and you
Yeah.
have to keep up with both. And usually I don't multitask,
Yeah.
but now I can do it. And sometimes I'll be listening to the guest, and they're telling me what to ask next or what to change, and I'm like.
So how much of it, that's a great point. So how much of it is your ability to go with flow and ask questions you want, but also have someone in your ear telling you what to do? Because here, we get to do what we want.
Right.
We discussed before, we
Yeah.
have ideas, you see we have papers,
Yeah.
but
Right.
ultimately we're basing this on our chemistry, and that's why we're doing more in
Yeah.
person now. What's it like for you?
It's of course it's tougher, but I like it. I like having someone to put you on track. Like sometimes he's talking a lot and you're not noticing, so they're like, okay, cut him off. Next question.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, sometimes like. I don't know, maybe the way he's going with the conversation, he's going to say something that we don't want it to be on TV. So you have to go and interfere before he says that, you know.
Wow.
So it's it's good to have someone
We
controlling
actually
you.
have a little bit of that. So for anyone who makes it this far in the interview, next time we do a Zoom episode, what you can notice is sometimes one of us will be reaching like this typing. In the app we use, I'm not going to say the name of it
Right.
because obviously, yeah.
Correct.
There's a chat function. So like, for example, you're sitting on Zoom, we're sitting. I can text Sam saying, yo, he's doing too much. Like, change the subject. So
right.
I notice it, and I always wondered, do people realize we're like typing like this, trying to look at the camera as well?
But you saying that, by the way, that's interesting because I've done some interviews when I was a coach, not when I was a player, because I was a player, I was a control freak. As a coach, and I remember when I wanted to answer something in a certain way, I was cut off a couple of times because they didn't want me to call out some people.
Maybe, yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah,
I had
this
no
happens.
idea.
Yeah, this happens.
Now you made me recall some of these moments. So now I know the games that you guys play.
With sports presenting, obviously what you're doing is very objective. You're talking about sports, but Sam and I know you're obviously passionate about, Palestine and supporting that cause. Are you able to bring any of that into your job or not really?
For now, no. Especially, I don't know if we can talk about this here, but
This is a free...
sometimes the station that I work with, they get feedback from the people that they're because the owners are Palestinian.
Of course.
Right.
So sometimes if we talk about Palestine too much,
Okay.
some people here are maybe upset.
Okay.
They want us.
So you have to keep it politically
We
correct
have
at
to
all
keep
times.
it. Yeah. Like,
But what about you on your own social media? You can
of
do
course,
what you want.
I can talk whatever I want. on
Yeah,
social media.
and she's very active and very well outspoken about the Palestinian issues. And no, I'm proud of you. And I know even Sani sometimes try to tell you like, it's okay, calm
Son is
down
like,
a little
we're
bit.
not gonna go home because of you. You post too much.
But I was going to ask though, what was it like, especially in the last year, seeing him go through this when he's also candidly spoke to us about his childhood in Palestine? I mean, it must have been tough, no?
It was very tough. And when he played in Lebanon, the genocide was happening at the beginning.
Right.
So it was he was like, it was very effective, and he couldn't sometimes control his feeling before the games. So it was hard on him a lot, on everybody.
It was. And I remember he used to tell me how hard it was on you and how emotional it was on you.
Because like I'm a kind of person where I imagine myself
Right.
in the situation of the person that I'm watching.
Yeah.
So every time I used to see a mother with their child, I used to collapse. So it's like,
Yeah, we
shut
still-
it off, please. Don't watch news anymore, please. And at the first, I was breastfeeding, and everybody was like, you shouldn't be sad when you're breastfeeding. You should
Right.
stop watching the news. So it was very effective.
I think this is where it made us question the Arab world in all the other countries
Yeah.
because we were seeing so many
Everybody were
children
just
and
watching.
mothers dying. And we wanted answers. And I think that's why me and Aboudi were so frustrated. And we kind of went away from our podcast for 3 months, 4 months, I remember.
Everybody. I was talking to Aboudi before
Yeah.
the podcast. Even if you did podcast, nobody was interested in seeing anything other than what's happening in Palestine.
Right.
We're just scrolling down, like nothing related to Palestine. I don't want to see it. I'm not interested. So everybody stopped posting about their
Yeah.
lives, stopped posting about everything. Because, you know, we realized that there's so much more important things that our small bubble that we live in.
Right, right.
But it's funny. So as Ruby mentioned, we were speaking about this before, and we were speaking about the challenge of trying to become someone of like social presence and a presenter or a podcaster, and how people respond best to authenticity. So authentically, what I would do as Aboudi's, I would post about Palestine every day. But then understanding that at the moment, that does deter from views for us or from whatever it is, and trying to balance like, okay, well, what's the reason? So someone asked me this recently, why are you doing the podcast? And I had to think, I'm like, okay, well, Sam and I essentially want to give a platform for two Palestinians to go and speak to people that have had adversity in their life and to be Palestinians of social influence.
Right.
To do that, you have to kind of shoot yourself in the foot a little bit and stop posting, because
Correct.
no matter how you look at it, when you post about Palestine, you're getting less views.
100%.
You're getting less engagement. And even as a Palestinian now, you scroll, it's like, I've been seeing this for 15 fucking months. I can't imagine what they're going through.
Right.
Even with the ceasefire, like they're celebrating the bare minimum, you know?
True.
So it's interesting to try and understand, and that's why I asked her, like, how often do you post about it when also trying to build your career? Because they are mutually exclusive. You can't really do both at the same time, you know?
I agree.
I've been struggling with that, to be honest. My insights went ever since the genocide.
You know, the one thing we didn't talk about, and it's very important, me and Aboudi ask every athlete, mental health. And you've been struggling with a lot of things you went through a lot. Mental health, who helped you through this? And do you believe in sports therapy for such a thing for athletes or just in general?
Okay, so like growing up, we never had anybody on the team to help us with
Right.
this. But when I moved to Fuheis, they had a shout out to Tala. She's Janine's mom, by the way.
Right, right.
She used to give us like once a week a session where we talk about maybe our fears on court, what we want to achieve, why we can't achieve it. And she used to make us put like small goals before each game, and it really helped me. It really helped me
Wow.
because I was now focused on my goals and nothing else outside the court. So I used to put like, I want 10 rebounds. So now, because I'm counting, I started getting more rebounds. I used to put small goals and like to make it to the free throws, so I started
Right.
grabbing more. These small goals made me achieve the bigger goal.
Wow.
So I think every team should have someone on the.
But what about now for you, even post?
I don't know.
career?
Like, do you think I need the mental coach?
To be honest,
we both do
we
it.
both do it.
Yeah.
I think it's
I've
very
never
important.
had anything like that.
You know
I've
why?
never sat one-on-one with someone to talk about my feelings. I never went to see anyone because I never suffered something so.
It's not, it's for me, it's never really about suffering. I didn't start it when I was suffering. I started it when I was in a very good place. And it's more about having the tools to deal with things, whether good or bad. So for me, a lot of times, like I would get very high with the highs and very low with the lows. And it's about understanding that you have to keep a constant pace and not be pulled in different directions in your life. So it was never like I went through some crazy, I've had my own adversity in life, but nothing that traumatized me enough to go and have and see a therapist. But I saw a lot of my friends doing it. And I thought this is probably something that would help me
And
in
do you
life
think it really helped your life?
significantly.
So maybe I'll try.
Significantly.
It's huge, and it's so common nowadays to see people getting that help, and it's just because we have so much going on in life, and sometimes we don't have time to talk to anyone. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to hear what you're going through. To be honest with you, at times, so you need that. You know what I mean?
It's not even that no one wants to. It's that everyone has so much shit going on that when your friend starts talking to you, like, shut the fuck up. I got my own thing. Yeah.
Right. So it's hard. It's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
It's not easy. So would you go back to coaching now or no? That you found your new love,
Like maybe, but I have like 3 offers on the table right now.
right?
And to be honest, if I want to go into coaching, I want to be like fully prepared and also want to go
Right.
back to coaching so I can achieve my best. I don't want to go coaching where I was like half and half thinking about maybe.
But I think
Not.
because she said she likes to wake up and look at it like it's not a job. It seems like coaching felt like a job for her, but
True.
now being a TV presenter doesn't.
True. This is exactly what I feel.
Yeah.
So I feel if I want to go coaching, I'm going just because of the salary, because
Right.
it's a job. But when I go to the TV, I don't care if they don't pay me. I'm
Wow.
having fun.
So you mentioned you have to leave here at a certain point to go pick up Jason. What is a day?
My boy Jason, I love that kid so much.
What is a day in the life of Ruby like?
It's a total chaos, disaster. Waking up in the
Organized chaos. Organized
morning,
chaos.
2 kids, no one to help around. Sometimes my mom does, but I mean, when I'm alone, it's a
Right.
disaster. To be honest, life as like a mom, it's a very difficult life. Sometimes I call my mom. I told her, please come so I can take a shower. Sometimes I can't even take a shower with 2 kids because Amira's still young. She can hurt herself.
Yeah.
I have to be with her
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. And when she sleeps in my room. I don't want to make any noise to wake her up. So it's like I can't do anything in my life.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, and if I have to go anywhere, I have to like bring my mom if I have to go. So now I don't have a social life because I'd rather bring my mom to babysit when I have like a doctor appointment, not when I want to go out with my friends. So now I don't do anything other than like the important things in my life.
And
I don't even
presenting.
do my nails like I used to do. Don't have time to do my eyebrows. I don't have time to do anything. So
Look, I'm sure Jason's going to appreciate that.
I hope so.
And the little prince is going to appreciate one day what
hope
their
so.
mom and dad are doing for
They
them.
love their dad more than me.
No.
By the way,
no.
my sisters also play bad cop with their husbands, but I think eventually it
Because
switches.
he's always away. Jason tells me, Mama, I love Dad more.
Yeah.
But because he's always away and because I miss him, let me go away for a while and make him
Right.
miss me more.
But they always say the son always goes towards the mother eventually. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I mean,
I think once your kids understand the sacrifices you're
Yeah.
making as well, they're not going to feel like they have a favor. And Sonny's obviously a great father as well,
I
so
know.
Right.
they're lucky to have 2 parents that care a lot.
you guys are phenomenal.
Thank you.
As we get in our last section of the interview, we have questions that we'd like to ask you. Ruby, I have a question for you. Do you feel like the young girls looking up to Ruby and other Jordanian women basketball players still want to pursue basketball in Jordan with the lack of resources?
I think like the passion still exists because, as I told you, girls love basketball regardless. But some of them will eventually lose
Interest.
in the game if it stays like this.
When you say stays like this, tell me more. What do you mean by stays like this?
Like the national team, it has to stay the whole year.
Okay.
it has
Similar
to
to the men.
Yeah, like not just 1 month before any tournament. The league, it has to be a long league.
Okay.
And sometimes they do league, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the league is 2 teams only. So people will lack interest in this. So I think the ultimate maybe solution is to do like, even if we only have 2 teams in Jordan, I think the federation needs to get all the girls that plays basketball, same as the league that you do. They
Right.
separate all the girls in different teams and just name them whatever they want. In the men's league, they did like this a couple of months ago.
Oh, yeah, right,
Like
summer league.
Petra or
Wadira.
something, yeah.
Yeah, so just name them after cities and let them play the game.
So it's funny, you've mentioned multiple times only wanting to work in something that you love and that you feel you're passionate about. You seem passionate about that. Would you ever get into the federation? Would you ever try and be more of an influence in how women's basketball
Why not?
is?
Yeah, why not? I think that if I go into the federation, I can really help and try to improve, especially with the women's game. Because I have a lot of ideas and I wish that they can listen to me. So,
Presenter, mom, federation.
Yeah, I think she'd be a great addition to the federation, especially from the women's side, because you've seen it, you've experienced it from the lows to the highs. I
Exactly.
think it will be a great idea in the future if they can add you. They'll be lucky to
yeah,
have you,
why
actually.
not? Thank you.
they'll be lucky to have you.
Ruby, we finish our episodes by asking the guests some of the same questions. So I'm going to start us off.
Mm-hmm.
What does the word identity mean to you, given that you candidly spoke about how, Rubi Habash, basketball player, now that you're no longer a basketball player?
I struggled for a bit, but now when people ask me, what do you do? I'm saying I'm a TV presenter. I feel like it kind of filled the void. I used to be a basketball player. I'm now a TV presenter. This is how I tell my.
So I want to double tap on that though, because I don't think you should be defined by what you do. It should be who are you.
True,
right?
that's true. I hope, like, some people really know me, but I hope that we get to a point when I say Rubi Habash, they don't need to introduce more. Like,
Hopefully this podcast helps.
I hope so.
Ruby, one question that just came in mind, and I want to kind of skip the question that I was going to ask you. What does family means to you?
Everything. Family is the most important thing in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you haven't accomplished yet that keeps you up at night?
No, to be honest. No. Like for me, as Sam said, family is the most important thing. So when I put my head on the pillow, I'm happy. I'm blessed. I have my family. I have my kids, my husband, my mom, my dad, and I feel like this is safe. Like,
You have 2 kids. Would you have another one?
no. Of course not.
And Sani's okay with only 2?
He only wanted one.
No way.
I was the one to convince him to get another
Right.
one. Yeah.
I have 2. I wanted my second one to be a daughter. I do love you, Karam, and I'm happy Karam came to life. But I know a lot of people ask me, like, you need a girl, because I know what a girl means in the house.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
But I'm stopping at 2.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
We also we got rid of the baby bed, the stroller.
Oh, you're for sure like, no.
Yeah, you kept it just in case?
No, we didn't. I didn't keep anything. I'll pass it over to you
No,
whenever
good,
you're
thank
ready.
Ruby, honestly, thank you so much for making time. We
Thank
really
you for
appreciate it.
having
And this is definitely a story that we hope is heard on a high level.
Thank you for having
Incredible.
me. I hope I didn't cry a lot.
No, it's fine. No, we appreciate it. You almost made me cry with the line from
I
Sani.
know.
I'm an emotional person.
I loved it, Ruby. Thank you.
you.
And Jed, thank you for coming from the bottom of my heart. You're a sister to me. You mean the world to me. And thank you for sharing everything and being candid and being who you are. We appreciate
Thank
you.
you, Sam.
Thank you.
You've always been an inspiration to me, girl. I still
Thank
look up to you. Thank you for having me.
Much love. We love
Thank you,
you.
Ruby.
Thank you.
If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to us on YouTube and all podcasting apps.
And make sure you follow us on all the social media apps. Another one in the books, baby. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.